Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops, a night with 8 NBA games, but I want to talk about what I believe is the main topic, and that's the Hornets' shocking upset over the Celtics, 121-118 in overtime. And the Hornets look like they're back. They missed the play-in altogether last season, but they made it both of the years before that, so it feels like right now they're more like that before stage than they were last year, which is good, because they finally have all their guys back. Miles Bridges, whether you think he's a good person or not, most people would say he's not, but he's back on the team now. He missed all of last year, and the big thing was when he was there, they were a play-in team both of the years before he went out, and he was a 20-point per game scorer for that team in 2021, I believe. But Bridges was great for them in that year, and in this game, Miles Bridges finishes with 14 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and also hit the game-winning 3 in overtime. It's tough to get gamed by Miles Bridges in 2023, but he was really good in this game. Not efficient at all, 3 of 13 from the field, but hit the shot that mattered. But LaMelo Ball continues the tear that he's on. 36 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. It feels like he's putting up 30 plus every night right now. And over the last 8 games, I believe he's averaging over 30 points a game, because I've seen it posted about all the time on Twitter today. So LaMelo Ball has been great. He's been really impressive. A +3 in this game. The defense maybe is still a little bit of an issue, but it feels like he's trying more on the defensive end, which is a real positive. He crossed up Drew Holiday down the stretch, broke his ankles. Drew Holiday, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, ends up on the ground. And LaMelo, really good in this game and was clutch in regulation to help send it to overtime. I already talked about him solo in a different video, but Mark Williams has also been phenomenal for this Hornets team. Has just been really good all around, because he's more of like a kind of old school big, where he's going to be a rim runner, he's going to be a good defensive presence, but the offense isn't like super versatile necessarily. But 18 points in this game to go with 16 rebounds and 3 blocks, as well as 8 of 14 from the field. Efficient once again, as he always is. He's the perfect pick and roll partner for LaMelo Ball, and Mark Williams is one of the best young bigs in the league today. And after Duren has cooled off from his slow start, it feels like maybe Mark Williams is the best center out of last year's draft. Whether you want to call Chet a center or not, I guess Chet's playing center. So it's Chet, and then it's one of these two guys, right? And I think Mark Williams has a good claim for being ahead of Duren because of the shot blocking, the defense. He changed their defense completely last season, but on top of that, great rebounder and pretty solid offensive presence as well. Gordon Hayward plays in this game as well and puts up 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, doing a little bit of everything like Gordon Hayward usually does. And when he's here, the team is going to be better. Brandon Miller plays 40 minutes in this game. Wasn't great. Only 9 points in the game, but 7 rebounds, 2 steals, a block, a +22 on the night. Brandon Miller, I'd say, was a positive impact. And when you have all these guys out there, with Bridges back, with Miller, the rookie this year, with Mark Williams, who they drafted last year, PJ Washington, who's been really good this season, is coming off the bench. And I think that makes you extremely dangerous, because all of a sudden you have this guy who would be a starting power forward on a lot of teams across the league, who can come off your bench. And this is without Terry Rozier. Still no Rozier for them, who's, I believe, has only played like 5 or 6 games this season and has missed the rest with an injury. But they look good in this game regardless. They take down the best team in the Eastern Conference, and like I was saying, I really like PJ off the bench. I think it makes them much more dangerous than they would be otherwise. And a guy like Nick Smith Jr., who's an impressive young guard, really good handle, solid offensively, doesn't even play in this game. Coach's decision because of the depth that they have now, and I really like what I see from them. And when Rozier gets back, they could actually be a good team. I said this before the year. One of my bold predictions for the year was was that the Hornets would make the playoffs. And I think they're really talented. LaMelo looks like one of the best guards in the league right now. Mark Williams, an up-and-coming young big. Brandon Miller, a really impressive two-way rookie. And Miles Bridges is a good basketball player. He's going to come back and he's going to play good hoops. But the Celtics, it's not like they didn't have great performances, at least from Jayson Tatum, who was really good in this game. Tatum with 45 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Did choke the free throw that could have tied the game. In overtime, it basically lost him this game because he missed the free throw. He had 3 free throws, misses the third one, and they lose. So Tatum, great game altogether, but kind of tough down the stretch of this one. In Porzingis, 17 points, 8 rebounds, typical Porzingis things. Wasn't really efficient. They have no Derek White in this game or Al Horford, so the Celtics were missing 2 of their top 6 guys, but Tatum, Porzingis, Holiday, and Brown all still play, and it doesn't matter because the Hornets take them down, hold the Celtics to 43% from the field and 32% from 3. Good defense by Charlotte, and like I said, with Williams in there, the team is a really impressive defensive team. They're super athletic and have a lot of guys that can score, so all of a sudden it feels like the Hornets are dangerous. They're a lot better than people expected, and I'm going to enjoy watching them, also because they have the best announcer in the league in Eric Collins. But now let's shoot around the NBA, look at different outcomes, and try to get an idea of what happened on this night of NBA basketball. So, in other action from around the NBA, we did have 7 other games on this night of basketball, and let's talk about each of them and kind of get an idea of who played well in these games, what the outcomes were, and what happened. So, starting off with Nuggets versus Pistons, a game that the Nuggets win 107-103. Both coach Mike Malone and big man Nikola Jokic get ejected, I believe, in the first quarter. Maybe Jokic was the second quarter, but it was definitely both of them got ejected in the first half. Again, no Jamal Murray still out with an injury, but it doesn't matter because the Pistons still lose. This is the Pistons' now 12th straight loss, and they lost this one basically to Reggie Jackson with 21 points, 6 assists. I'd say he was the best player in this game for Denver, and they moved to 10-4 on the season. The Bucks handle the Wizards 142-129, and Giannis continues just a crazy stretch of dominance he's been on to start this season. 42 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. It is the first 30-point game of the season for Jordan Poole, but only shoots about 42%. So despite the scoring volume, the efficiency wasn't quite there. The Heat get revenge, beat the Bulls in the second game of a 2-game series against them, 118-100. Bam Adebayo still really impressive, 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists for Bam. The Timberwolves beat the Knicks 117-100 to remain the number 1 seed in the Western Conference to this point. Minnesota's been super impressive. Anthony Edwards, 23 points and 10 rebounds in the victory. Karl Anthony Towns also pretty impressive in this win. And again, their defense is what shines for them, holding the Knicks to only 100 points. The Pelicans beat the Kings 129-93 in what is kind of like a shocking dominant outcome because the Kings, after getting Fox back, could look much better. It felt like they're one of the best teams in the West once again. But in this game, it felt like neither of their guys had it. Domantas Sabonis finishes with only 10 points, and Fox has 14, and their leading scorer was Harrison Barnes with 16, so no one could really get it going for Sacramento, but 31 points for Brandon Ingram and 26 for Zion Williamson in the victory, and the Pelicans get back to 500, 7-7. The Clippers beat the Spurs 124-99 to pick up their second straight win after moving Russell Westbrook to the bench, and it feels like that lineup is working. 28 points and 6 assists for Paul George, and the Spurs continue to just get blown out. They have the worst point differential in the entire NBA, and it doesn't feel like that's changing anytime soon. The Spurs, as of right now, are just not a good competitive team. And then there's one game that's still going on, the last game of the night. The Warriors and Rockets are still playing. The second half just started, and Şengün, I'd say, has been the best player in this game so far, 18 points and 7 rebounds. And the Rockets down 5, but could totally win this one. For the season, they have, I would say, easily look like the better team than the Warriors. But now, as I always want to do, let's get into the last segment of the night, which is the top 5 players according to the Real Sports app. Yes, there is still, a couple quarters to go in this last game, but we do have 7.5 games of players. So let's look at the top 5. At number 1, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo with 42 points, 13 rebounds, and 87% from the field. Jayson Tatum at 2 with 45 points and 13 rebounds in the loss. LaMelo Ball at 3 with 36 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Zion Williamson coming in at 4 with 26 points, 5 assists, and 75% from the field. And then his teammate Brandon Ingram coming in at 5 with 31 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. But that'll do it for this night in the NBA. Another night in the NBA. Thanks for watching. Think about subscribing. I'm on the road to 12,000 subscribers, so if you enjoy the recaps, then think about sticking around. But that'll be about it for me, so thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.